Hello, my name is Zida Wang. I am a PhD candidate at the Florida State University, majoring in museum education and visitor-centered curation. I am also a museum educator at the Museum of Fine Arts at the Florida State University. Today, I'm excited to share my research on transforming museum spaces into inclusive third places, exploring collaborative curation and digital engagement through participatory action research. This presentation will be a case study on co-curated exhibition and the digital engagement efforts within hybrid places, all aimed at promoting inclusivity. Thank you. In 2023, I facilitated a collaborative hybrid exhibition called The Art of Bonding. It was a co-curated with 6 community stakeholders and showcased 5 interactive artworks from 2 Chinese twin sister artists, Hu Bao and Hu Bei. The exhibition examined the complexity of human relationships, especially focusing on the bond between individuals and nature. It invited both artists and viewers to reflect on personal connections. There are 2 theoretical links. The exhibition is rooted in the third-place theory from Ray Oldenburg and the constructivist museum theory from George Hein. It emphasized how museum spaces can serve as informal social learning environments. There were various interactive elements in the exhibition, allowed visitors to contribute their thoughts, making them part of the co-curation process. The right side of the slide shows the poster the co-curatorial team designed for this exhibition. Now I will use 2 slides to introduce the co-curatorial team. As you can see in the slide, Maya is a BFA student, Murphy is an art history student, and Annie Booth is a program coordinator at the Museum of Fine Arts. Each member brought their unique perspectives that were critical to shaping the exhibition. Maya, as a art student, provided artistic insights, and Murphy provided his art history background, and Annie provided her amazing curatorial experiences and program coordination experiences to the team. In this slide, I will introduce the rest of the co-curatorial team, Hu Bao, Hu Bei, and Yvonne. Hu Bao is a multimedia designer. Hu Bei is an assistant professor at the Washington State University, St. Louis. And Yvonne is a museum assistant at the Museum of Fine Arts. Both of them provided critical perspectives from artistic and educational sides. As the twin sister artists, Hu Bao and Hu Bei, their personal connections directly influenced the exhibition's theme of human bondings, provided unique artistic perspectives. And Yvonne played an important role in bridging the gap between the technical aspects of the museum work and the creative processes. Each of these individuals brought their own expertise to the table and helped make this exhibition a true co-curated experience to us. Now I will introduce Hu Bao and Hu Bei's work to you all in these 2 slides. First, I will introduce Hu Bao's work. She had 2 artworks in the exhibition. The first one is During Dialogue, which uses biodiagram of text messages between herself and her twin sister Hu Bei to visually represent their shared life experiences. And you can see different colors. Yellow means comfort, black indicated conflicts, etc. So the use of these colors helped her to explore how their bond changes across different conversations. Symbolizing care, support, and conflicts helped us to understand their relationships. And the second piece is called How to Do Nothing. Inspired by Jenny Odell's How to Do Nothing, This work focuses on the often overlooked poetic moments of the daily lives. She uses those Chinese characters such as the sound of the birds, gazing out the window to emphasize mindfulness and presence in everyday moments. Now I'm going to introduce Hu Bei's work. She had three works in the exhibition. The first one is 1.2 meters. 1.2 meters was created as a response to the social distancing norms introduced by the pandemic. It was an interactive wearable piece that lights up when people come within 1.2 meters of each other. This piece explores how even the closest human relationships were strained by the pandemic. The light figure represents their re-establishment of the personal bonds that have been stretched by the distance. And the second work is Gathered Light, uses a similar approach but focuses on the positive aspects of the reconnection after isolation, which symbolizes the hope. And the last work, Twin Individual Manifesto, shares the differences and the connections as twins between herself and her twin sister Hu Bao. There are two theories supported in these exhibitions. First one is Ray Oldenburg's third place theory, and the second one is George Hines' constructivist museum theory. And the third place theory focuses on the significance of informal social spaces beyond home and work. Ray Oldenburg believed home is the first place and work is the second place. A third place is a relaxed, neutral place for social interaction and community bondings. It is a welcoming and inclusive nature space. For the constructivist museum theory, a museum that aligns with the principle of constructivist learning, and it focuses on active experiential learning and personal explorations. So these two theories gave me the foundations of the theories that helped me to constructed the following learning sessions and the co-curatorial sessions. As you can see here, based on the constructivist museum theory and the third place theory, and led by the participatory action research, I designed this conceptual framework. On the left, you can see the constructivist museum theory's key features, and on the right side, you can see the third place theory's important characteristics. And these are all leading to the co-curation, hybrid co-curation. And the outcome is the visitor-centered curation exhibition. And I have two research questions here. The first one, how can a co-curated hybrid exhibition contribute to a university art museum's use of the third place theory? The second research question, how does the use of a combination of third place theory and constructivist museum approaches manifest a co-curation exhibition? I will use the findings and analyze processes to answer these two research questions. A major participation method with the co-curator is the collaborative curation. So this exhibition was co-curated by both artists and community stakeholders. Everyone was involved in big idea generations, curatorial planning, and label writing, etc. This decentralized curatorial authority made the process more inclusive. As you can see here, I include the picture that everybody was voting for a final color for our title and the labels. And also I want to highlight the participation methods visitor contributed to through sticky notes and surveys, which I will introduce to you all in the next slides. We used both physical sticky notes and online tools like Google Jamboard to collect visitor feedback. This allowed us to engage with both in-person and virtual audiences. As you can see on the left and on the right will be the in-person and online. Visitors' inputs are crucial in shaping how the exhibition evolved over time. It was truly an interactive process where the audiences had real voices to be heard by the co-curatorial team. Visitors contributed through the sticky notes and surveys, helped us to shape the final version of the exhibition. This level of participation made the audiences actively co-created the exhibition with us. The exhibition had three phases. The first one is the collaborative construction of the theoretical framework and the curatorial roles. The second phase is the collaborative curation practices. The last phase is the audience engagement. For the first phase, the co-curatorial team had 6 meetings together, and we learned those conceptual theories, theoretical frameworks together, and we developed that conceptual framework together, and constructed our understanding to co-create as a team, and also understand our individual curatorial roles. The second phase, we created this exhibition together. And the last phase, we collected the data from the audiences based on a survey and sticky notes. The major method we collected data are the Zoom meetings, Zoom interviews. We had 2 rounds interviews, field notes, survey, and other physical materials and communications. And speaking of the data analysis, we used the in vivo and semantical coding to identify those key patterns through the conversations. One key finding was that the co-creation fostered a deeper audience engagement, making our visitors feel more connected to the exhibition content. This is a direct finding that we analyzed from a lot of sticky notes that left in the galleries and online as well. What this data revealed 4 major insights or findings. First, fostering third place through collaborative curation. Second, participatory engagement and knowledge construction. Third, improving virtual engagement and accessibility for hybrid exhibition. Last, enhancing physical visitor interaction in third place. So these findings highlight the importance of creating inclusive spaces both virtually and physically, where visitors can actively participate in shaping their museum experiences with us by those activities and exhibitions programmings we provided in the exhibition. Now in these following slides, I will introduce a major finding that I concluded from those co-curatorial team members' personal development. For example, the first one, Annie began this project as an institutional representative because she is the museum program coordinator. She focused on supporting various aspects of the exhibition, particularly from an operational standpoint. As the project progressed, she transitioned into the role of a collaborative facilitator and audience connector, where she played a key role in facilitating the installation and the curatorial processes. Her ability to engage with both the team and the audiences allowed her to bridge gaps between the institutional and the community knowledges. Annie's role evolved from a logistical contributor to someone who actively shaped the exhibition's inclusive environment. ensuring it resonates with wider audiences. For Ivan as the co-curator, Ivan initially contributed his expertise in his gallery experiences and knowledge, ensuring that the exhibition adhered to the standards of the Museum of Fine Arts. However, over the time, his role expanded as he became more deeply involved in problem solving and all those design related challenges, particularly around the physical arrangement and the presentation of the artworks. He evolved into a problem solver, designer, and advocate, contributing creatively on label design and other overall visual coherence of the exhibition. Ivan's expanded role emphasized his ability to blend his knowledge with creative problem solving, making him an interdisciplinary advocate and a very, very important part of the co-curatorial team, although he left the job later after the exhibition because he was offered a better job from another place, but I still appreciate him and his contributions. So Hu Bei, she initially entered into the project as the digital artist and the designer. She tried to offer her skills in creative visual elements for the exhibition. As the project going on, she took on more conceptual role, becoming a contributor and a conceptual designer. Her focus shifted from a purely digital art to helping define the visual identities of the exhibitions. Bei was instrumental in shaping promotional materials like the flyers, posters, and the website, and refined the overall design, ensured that the exhibition's aesthetics was cohesive and aligned with the broader thematical goals. Her growth or development from artist to conceptual designer was a testament to her ability to adapt and contribute beyond her initial role. Speaking of Murphy's development, Murphy began this exhibition as an undergraduate art history student with a strong interest in museums, initially playing an observational role in the team because for the very first two meetings, he barely gave any responses or feedback. However, over the time, Murphy grew in an active participant, assuming the role of the connector and the emergent leader. He became more vocal in shaping curatorial decisions, bringing those creative ideas together and connecting various aspects of the exhibition. His leadership and proactive approach in curatorial discussions helped to help us and helped himself in the position as a key contributor, which showcased his transition from a passive learner receiver to a dynamic leader in this team. Hu Bao initially contributed as an artist and designer, focusing on the visual and graphic design aspects of the exhibition. As the project developed, she maintained the consistent contributor role, helping with conceptual development, artwork selections, and the design execution through the entire process. Her steady presence ensured that the visual identity of the exhibition remained cohesive and matched herself and Hu Bei's works. Both consistency and reliability were the key to the successful realization of the exhibition's design. This made her an important part of the project's success. Maya started as a volunteer at the Museum of Fine Arts, and then her involvement as a learner at the very beginning. She was new to the world of collaborative curation and the art. But over the time, she evolved into a collaborative participant and audience voices, where she played a crucial role in representing the perspectives of the audiences, especially for the student audiences. By becoming more involved in discussions, Maya ensured that the exhibition remained accessible and relevant to the visitors, especially for those FSU student visitors. Her contributions were vital in making the exhibition not only artistically cohesive but also engaging and resonated for the community where we designed to serve with. Okay, so here I will share some numbers of the art of bonding here. So the exhibition displayed at the Museum of Fine Arts at the Florida State University for 6 weeks in total, from November 2nd to December 15th. And if you scan this QR code here, you will have access to the Art of Bonding website. And for the sticky notes, we collected 213 on-site sticky notes, and we collected 32 online sticky notes from Google Jamboard. And for the postcards, we collected 69 postcards about the Art of Bonding exhibition itself. And we had 38 feedback from the survey participants. And in the end, I gave 2 artist created scarf as the giveaway to 2 lucky winners who participated in the survey. Thank you. Thank you very much for your patience to listen this virtual presentation of mine. Do you have any questions, concerns, or I'm happy to answer any questions you have. If not, you can also have my email address here if you have any questions, if you prefer an answer through email. I'm happy to give you feedback or more detailed analyze or findings, because I know this 25 minutes presentation cannot include everything of my research. So if you want to know more about this research, I'm happy to provide more detailed information in my dissertation to you. Thank you very much.